Hi, in this video, we are going to create a navigation menu using CSS FlexBox. My name is Chris Mutuma from eKitch Programming. Let's begin. I have my Visual Studio Code editor open with two files, index.html and style.css. So I've already created my markup. I have a wrapper, container, then I have a nav, which is a FlexNav with a class of FlexNav. Then I have another list. Then I have the list items, and which are the links. So if I open my browser here, this is what we have here. That is what is this markup. Then I have my styles.css file here that only has the resets for the box sizing set to border box. So guys, I'm just going to display these both tabs next to each other. I'll just come here, split editor, and then rather no, let me just split this other one. Then I can close it from here. Then I can also collapse this. So now guys, you can see we can be able now to work with our to our styles, being able again to see our markup at the same time. So guys, in this we are going to create a FlexBox navigation menu. So I come to my styles.css file and I'll just create my markup here, or rather I'll type my classes here. I'll leave that and come back to it later. So what I want you to take note on is this nav will not be our flex container. UL will be our flex container, so that the list items become the flex items. So I'm going to start with flex. Okay, I'm typing on the wrong one. Flex nav UL. So this is what is going to be our container. We are going to come back to that. Then do flex nav, then li. Come back to that as well. Now let's start styling our anchor tags. So this is where now I want everything to start. So the first thing we do is remove the text decoration and set it to none. Alright, so if you save that and come back, you see that underline is gone. When we come back here again, I need to change the color of my links to white. Alright, so if I change that and save, you can see they are gone because the background is white. Then guys, the next thing here I'm going to do is set a background. Right, and now this time round I'm going to use RGBA. So that is the red, green, blue, and the alpha. Set the red, blue, and the red, green, and the blue to 0, and then the alpha channel, which is the transparency or the opacity channel, I'll just set it to 0.5. Right, if I save that and come back now, you can see we can see our menu items here. That is our list items. Then I'll come back again here now, and we need to set some padding. We need to set some padding. We need to set some padding here. But before we go on, I'll come back here to this wrapper and give it a maximum width of at least 800 px. Right. So now the width of these menus are the wrapper itself. Now the container, I've set the width to 800 pixels, a maximum width of 800 pixels. We are going to see that in action. So the next thing here we are going to set is the padding, them to display them nicely. So I'll do 20 pixels, that is top and bottom, and 15 pixels left and right. So you can see whatever is happening here. Then I'll display. Okay, display will not. I want to work on that here. Let me do text align, and then we'll send our text. I know right now you cannot see much effects happening, but you can see this dark or rather light gray color here as the background. So now the next thing I'll do now, I'll come now, remember I said this URL will be our container. So I'll come to this flex nav another list and set the display to flex. Watch what happens. So now you can see we have this beautiful menu where now you've given it a max width of 800 px. So again, I can either do the list style none here. So ideally, if you put it on your UL and if you put it on your airline, still they are going to the bullets will be removed. So you can see now we have this kind of a nice of a menu. Now the next thing I want to do here is I want to turn on I want to create a border here so that we can see what we are working with of 2 pixels, then solid, then we'll give it a red color. So this is just for illustration purposes. So guys, you can see what is being displayed here. Let me just first of all change this and display this to block. And notice what happens here. Now the border everything is inside this red border here. So the next thing you're noticing that there is this space here. So the thing here is there is some margin here and some padding that we need to take care of. So we need now to come back to our container here. We need to come back to our flex nav UL here and do margin 0 and padding 0. So what that does, it will push everything and it will remove that padding that was here to the left and the margin. All right. Now this other space that you're seeing to the right here, this is a space that needs to be filled by this container that contains this menu. Now that is the anchor. The links needs to fill this space. And now when you're using FlexBox, there is a property known as Flex Grow. There is another known as Flex Shrink and Flex Basis. But now in our case here, we are going to deal with Flex. So this is a short way of doing Flex Grow, Flex Shrink, and Flex Basis. But when I set 1 here, that means I'm setting a Flex Grow of 1 and a Flex Shrink of 1. We are not using basis here. So what has happened is now how Flex works is now the remaining space that we had here. Yeah, let me just comment this out, save that. So this extra space that we have here, we want to allocate this extra space equally to these menu items. Okay, so that's the reason why we are using flex grow of 1 and shrink of 1, and save that. So you can see now the menu items have they have taken the entire container excuse me, so which is a good thing with flexbox again, because remember the flex direction is always row, not column. So for us to be able now to fill the remaining space, to cater for that remaining space, is by use of flex grow, flex shrink, and flex basis. So having said that, I'll also now come back here to my wrapper and set a margin of 0 auto that will center it nicely. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Then the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to work on the hover so that we can see how our hover effect works. So setting the hover here is, again, I'll use background of RGBA. I'll use a background of RGBA again, 0, 0, 0, and then 0.3. Okay. Then if I save that and come and hover, you can see now this hover takes the background color, you see, so it is transparent, in other words. So again, now I'm going to remove this border here, just comment it out. This was just for illustration so that you could see how we use flex grow and flex shrink. So if I resize this screen here, that is my browser window, you can see that now my menu items are shrinking, and they are covering the same width for each menu item here. Okay, so you can see now, guys, it is easy to create a Flex navigation menu, or rather to create a navigation menu using FlexBox, which is easy. Okay, we are not going to use floats. We are not using position. We are just using the Flex box, or rather the Flex container here. All right, so guys, that's the content I had for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something from it, and give us a thumbs up, subscribe to Ikich Programming channel, and see you in the next one.